Yo, 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 what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy, the Rinnegan, back at it again with another episode of First Week Beats. Welcome, y'all. If you're just tuning in, welcome. What's good? We in here. It's a live session. We about to make some beats right now, so I'm gonna cook something up. I got this cool, drum loop and whatnot. It's just a drum loop. You know what I'm saying? We're working with loops this week. Next week we'll do something a little bit more sophisticated. But anyway, so let's just cook up. We're gonna vibe out, and we're just gonna build and build and build until we can make a complete beat. And yeah, just as usual, welcome, welcome. Before I begin, let me see about this live chat. I gotta see this live chat real quick, make sure that everything's all good. Perfect. All right, let's just start it. Alright, cool. Let's see what we can do with that. Sounds kind of cool. Just messing around with the velocity. just want to make sure that these notes are a little bit more, not too soft, not too hard, just right, just Goldilocks level. Just call it the title of that EP, and let's just get like a bass, just get the bass cracking. I got something, but let's mess around with it and see what happens. Alright, so let's just record. Try one more time. But I think I got it. That's like an idea, but I think I can touch it up better. I don't want to do it too busy. I kind of want to just flow it, just keep it flowful. I can mess around with the notes a little. I want it to be. Work with that for now. If I gotta change it up later. Okay. Let's keep building. Let's keep building and see if we can get some more stuff in here. We'll settle for that beat, right, for that bass. I think I like it, but if I gotta switch it up, I will. It's just, let's just keep moving, keep rolling. So let's find another instrument that we can mess with a little bit. Y'all. like a chorus section, so I'll do that. Flute, EP. We build, we move, still building. And I'm thinking like a bell or something, but we'll see. Let's just type in like bell or something. And we just stay building. We just want to keep building until we have like a bunch of sounds that we can work with to make a track. So let's see, what we got? Cowbell? Should we add cowbell in this bitch? Probably not. That shit sounds crazy. Let's try about regular bell. Let's do a little something different, like a little bit, you know. Maybe not that one. Probably this one. This made it too much. I could work. Hold on, let me mess with it. Maybe bring the dB down a little bit. I don't know if I like this bell. I want some more like a pure bell. These are kind of weird sounding. I might have to go to Anna 2. All right, let me move on over to Anna 2. I think I got a better set of bells on Anna 2 synth. Because we really just want the bell. The bell's supposed to complement it. I love bells, so we're gonna figure this out. So the bell is it's like a special vibe operator. All right, let's go to bells. I'm thinking let's try the FM bell, and then we can work our way down to like the ghoulie and the ghost loop. try it again. We're just working it out. See what happens. Okay, that's cool. Let's try this one more time. I really want this to be a vibe. Kind of cool. And then just bring it down a little bit. Keep building. We gotta keep building sounds. And I'm thinking we gotta do like a lead or something. Welcome everybody to First We Beats. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I don't know, I like that lead, I don't know. I wanna find something that's, let me see if I got anything I liked. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe let's try Cathedral Ocean. We'll find it. Let's type in what? Let me see. I do have another type of lead that I could use. It's more of it could be. Where is it at? I think I'm using massive or something. Let's see what happens. I got this. I love this thing. Let's try this synth West Coast type of lead. We'll see. It's kind of West Coasty. Sound selection is important. You know, if it don't sound right, do not fuck around. Just keep trying sounds. You know, I mean, I got something good here. I like this. You know, but I want to complement this. You know, so I don't want to be too crazy and too busy with it. You know, so you want to stack sounds on sounds until you choose. You know, until you're done, and then find the right ones to pair with it. You just want to complement this because this is pretty cool sounding. You know? And I want to find something that kind of just complements it. I don't want to take away from its greatness. And so it's a balance. And we're going to figure it out together. It sounds sick. If I say if I mute the bass, and I might just like have to redo that sub bass. I don't know if I'm fully into that pattern. Why don't we do this? We mute the bass for now. We just got the drums and the electric pianos, and then we just work around this. Like, this is what I want. Like, I want this to sound good, you know? So I'm gonna figure this out. This is the session, you know. Welcome to the session. This is like a fucking sound finding mission. So Let's see what that sounds like when we put it together. That's kind of cool. That kind of sets like a tone right there, you know? And sometimes you have to just play with it, experiment. You can't give up, yo. You can't just allow yourself to, you know, to be defeated, you know? You want to just keep working it, because some sounds will work, others won't. And you'll create a pattern, and at first you'll be like, oh, I love this pattern. And then all of a sudden, it's not working, and you're just like, fuck, I'm just gonna have to throw it out. And sometimes you gotta do that, man. You know, for the integrity of the track. So I'm gonna put this up here, because I like that. In fact, I'm gonna change these colors now, because I'm starting to vibe with these. So I'm gonna turn these green, because green's a go. And yellow, we be mellowing out on it. So if it's yellow, let it mellow. Mess with the velocity a little bit. You just want it to be like there, but so that's like a alright, cool. And then I'm gonna make an executive decision, and I'm just gonna redo the bass line, because the bass line I wasn't feeling anyway. So let's just mess around with the bass, see if we can get the bass in order. You know what I'm saying? So let's work it out. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Let's do this. I gotta be able to hear the bass. It's kind of loud. Hold on. Alright, I think that's cool. I'm thinking I just need to take that off. Maybe I need to change the bass. I don't know if I like this one. Change the vibe here. Take that off. I think I got a different one I'm gonna try. It's on Arteria. I'm particular about basses, man. I want my bass to be on point. You know, it's the bass line is important. If it don't groove, you're gonna lose. Here we go. Let's try this. I think I figured it out. Hopefully. different vibe. It's a little better now. I feel that now. So yeah, because I really just needed to change up that bass, and I changed it up, and it sounds better now. So let's see what happens. I may need to change this up too, but we'll see how the vibe goes with the flute. Actually, it works. Okay, so that flute part, I'm thinking about saving for the chorus and shit. So let's mute the flute and just hear it right now. I just fixed up this bass and it sounds so much better with everything in conjunction. Sounds a lot better. The flute back in, and I was thinking I could be like a chorus little piece right here with that flute. And now I'm gonna see how it goes with this bell, because I did this bell. That's kind of cool. That's the vibe. All right. Okay, that's cool. So this is what we're gonna do. So let's just do the intro real quick. So I'm gonna let's see. Hold on. Sorry guys. Cut that up, and then what we're gonna do is, now that everything seems to be going pretty well now after that little fix. Sometimes you just gotta switch it up a little bit, change it up, and fix some shit and get your shit right. So I'm gonna mute these, bypass them or whatever, and then we're going to do the intro. And I like this intro. You know, why not? You know, 4 bars in. Take out, make sure that the bells, this is for the chorus, I think. And so let's try this from the top. So you got that intro, right? And then, boom. And then you got the 16 here. Over there is gonna be the chorus. I'm gonna change the color. Get to the chorus section. So let's play from the top. I just fucking looped the verse, and so you know we're gonna make it good. I just gotta see what we have now. Now we have like a picture of the intro, and then you got this verse section. course, not using the flute or the bell. More like what I mean is like what I chose for it, like as far as what I played for it. I may need to like try something different. But for now, I need to figure out what else do I want during this. And I'm thinking like, let's mess around. We're on a mission here, yeah. You want to get the best. Let's try choir. Yeah. Just wanna find the right one, man. Damn. better transition. I really like that. That shit is fly. Alright. It's a better transition. I really like that. Let's see what happens if I take away the bass part, go back to the chorus. See how the transition goes into the verse, second verse. Or maybe take away the piano part and just do this part, see what happens. I'm just curious. That's kind of interesting. That's real interesting. Oh. That's why. That's still an interesting kind of transition. Okay, cool. And we're gonna go into the verse 3, and we're gonna see what happens, y'all. Let's do some here. Da, 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 da. Maybe verse 3 comes in, bass is out, and then it comes in the next go around over here. And then the outro will be here. We'll change the outro color. See, we're gonna put this let me just bust these bitches real quick, and then we'll do like a fade out or something. So what do we have? We got the flute, the bell, and the choir. So we need we'll just call this EP bus, and then we gotta have a lead. do a bell bus, and then we need a flute, bell, and a choir. So we have flute bus, we have a bell bus, choir bus, and then I guess we don't need nothing else really. And then just take this out. Alright, so set it up. So let's see. Got the electric piano. Route that to the EP bus, the lead. We'll go straight to the lead bus. The bass has already been routed. And then we got the flute bus. And then the bell has its own thing. And then the choir bus. Sick. Alright, so that's cool. So let's do a little fade out here. That's kind of cool. And then let's hear that one more time. I really want to nail that fade out. It's gotta be on point. Oh shit. Did I do something wrong? Hold on, guys. I think I fucked something up. Just give me a second. Oh, fuck me. Did I do something wrong? Damn it. I don't want to do something wrong. Hold on, y'all. I think I fucked something up. I appreciate y'all's patience. Something's off. Something is off. I just need to fix it. Something's going on. Something's going on. I think I need to fix this real quick. Appreciate your patience. Okay, so that's that. That's that. That's fine. What is that? Okay. I just gotta make sure everything is lined up properly. Because I noticed something wasn't completely lined up. And that shit happens, man. You know? So I just need to make sure. Let's see, what the fuck? And then just need to make sure that everything is on the one. What was that, yo? Fuck. Okay. Give me a moment. Take that out. That's no good. What happened there? That's hilarious. And then boom, change that color. Just gotta make sure that it's all lined up pretty. I don't know how that happened, but that shit happens, man. All right, so we're gonna keep that there, and that's fine. Okay, cool. Man, it was like a crazy like lineup issue. Now that I got it on the one, good. It was like trying to make sure that my shit was all lined up, and I noticed something, but I fixed it. Thank God, man. Fixing mistakes, baby. Alright. Let's see how the fade out goes this time. Everything and make sure everything's tight. Okay. Now we need to get to that part in the mix where we level everything and we need to get these drums cracking. We need to get the bass situated. So why don't we get that going now and just get to the mixing part, you know? If I need to add some more sounds, I will. It just depends. But I want everything level, you know? So if you're interested in you're just learning how I do some shit, like as far as like mixing, you might find what I'm about to do interesting, insightful, or you may find it stupid. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments. Alright, so drum loops. That's what we have right now. We have this simple drum loop, you know. You get your drum loops from whatever, and I get my drum loops from whatever, you know. Sometimes you may not want to fucking just lace in some drums or chop some shit, and you just want to just get some quick shit in there, you know, just to get your shit going. So how do we get this sounding tight, you know? So what we're gonna do is I've got it already duplicated, and so here I have like this you know, some parallel compression here, you know, and then we've got this transient shaper. We got it on the low fattener setting, mix, full blast. Got a trim knob bringing it down, and all I wanted was just a little bit of that low end oomph, so I can pair it with this drum loop here. And I'll mute these other things over here, and you can understand what I'm coming from. It's a little heavier, a little bit more thumpier. But now we need to do what we got to do, and that's get the drums and the bass paired together properly. You know, because some engineers, some producers, people that are just starting out, you know, they struggle with this type of thing. So right now I'm gonna do a bus type compression. So we're gonna do drum group. And so what I just did is I grouped the drum loops into a single channel, and I'm working out of Ableton Live. And so basically you just select these, right click, and then you just group them, or Control G, you know. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna route these audio to group, and then I'm gonna route this to my smasher bus, which is routed to the drum bus. So I like to do everything in buses, and it's important that you bust everything, group shit, and I don't know what DAW you're using, but this is, I would say Ableton is the ultimate DAW for stuff like this. If you really want maximum control out of your music, and especially drums and bass. So let's just pull in some virtual mix rack right quick, and I got this VMR right here, and I'm just gonna show you what I do. It's super simple. It's painless. I promise. It's like painless, but it works wonders. It works wonders. So we're just gonna pull down the fader now just a little bit. All right, just a little bit. So right now we want 1 decibel of gain reduction. Okay, so I'm gonna do the ratio 1.5, and then the speed I kind of just like it at the 5, but we'll work with it, and then we'll see what tonal options we have. We have flat, smooth, warm, aggro, and airy. This custom opto on the virtual mix rack is the business. It's very transparent. It'll bring your drums really loud, and it'll make them punch. So let's see. Put a trimmer knob in here to make sure you're not peaking. About 2 dBs of gain, so I'm at 32. I was at 30. So let's play with the tonal options. That's kind of cool. Let's try the warm. So I'm leaning towards smooth and warm. Let me know in the live chat if you prefer smooth, warm, or aggro. Let's see what flat does one more time. It's kind of nice, but let's try smooth. And we just want a dB gain reduction, Aggro seems pretty good too. This kind of like this warm function right here, this warm tone, it kind of sounds like it's like a little bit louder as far as like mid-rangey almost, like it's really focusing on like that upper, but the aggro kind of has weight to it. Leaning towards aggro, but let me know in the live chat if you're feeling aggro or not. Okay, so that's like bus compression, you just do a little bit of gain reduction, just a little bit, just around the 1, and that's how you really get the drum loops kind of just like glued a little. It's just gives you a little extra. So to go over it one more time, so we got the peak reduction around 15.9, and then the ratio is 1.50, and then the speed's about 5.43, and then the output I just boosted it about 2 decibels, and then we got it on the aggro tone, which is great. And let's see what happens. Like we got this minus plus sign. Let's see what this does. I kind of like that. All right, so let's just mess with that, and then what else do we got? So why don't we do this as well? We are going to do the next part. So we're going to fly over here. We're still messing with the drums. We're going to come over here to the Destructo. This is a multi-pass, you know, from Kilohertz. You know, this is a multi-band saturation and distortion plugin. Okay, but you get a whole bunch of options. You know, it's just a whole bunch of shit. But this Destructo feature is so clutch when you want your drums to poke out in the mix and have a little bit of extra oomph, and it just adds color and it makes things louder without sacrificing dBs or whatever. Like, it doesn't push the dBs farther as far as output, but it sounds louder. So let's mess with it. So this full destruct, 1% only. I'll show you what happens when you do more. I just like it at 1%. All right, let's do the low destruct. I just did something stupid. Y'all. I didn't even turn on the multipass. I was like, yo, what's happening right now? Why isn't this working? Like, what? I feel so stupid. Has that ever happened to y'all? Y'all like say if you was working with a compressor and you're messing with the attack and release and you think you hear something, but you finally got it dialed in, but the whole thing was in bypass, and you just like feel so stupid afterwards. That's what this feels like right now. So I turn it on now. So let's go back. Let's try it again. Let me show you this full destruct real quick. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I put that shit up on 100%, and I know in my soul that shit was gonna sound crazy. And then when I put it all the way up, I'm like, it don't sound crazy. What the fuck? And then I'll notice it's like, it was on bypass mode. So I've unbypassed it, so it's on. So we're about to figure this out now. Yeah. That shit sounds insane, right? So you only want to do it at 1%. All right. Now we're gonna go with the low destruct right now. All right, that sounds crazy, right? But then you have this mix knob, or this mix fader right here. I'm gonna bring this down, and we're just gonna, bring it up to taste to see how much we like. Okay, so right now it's about 80%. All right, so let me see if I can back off the high destruct and the mid destruct. It sounds a little bit too much. You know, I have a feeling in my soul right now, like I think it might just be a tad bit overkill. So let's bring back down the mid destruct, and let's kind of just and even the low destruct. Let me bring the low destruct down to about like 10. All right, and I'll bring the mix up right here. I'll bring the mix up all the way on 100, and let's just play with it. And there's this tonal knob right here as well, and that we can mess around with. Okay, I like that. So there's that. All right. So let's do one more thing. We need to bring in the Shep's Omni channel. All right. So I got this virtual mix rack. This is what we're doing right now. So this right here is the virtual mix rack, and all I'm using it is this virtual channel, this London Tube collection right here. And the reason why I'm using this one is I feel that for drums specifically, hip hop drums, and whether you're doing modern drums, boom bap drums, something about the London provides a little bit more like weight, heaviness, and it's like a lot of warmth, especially when you boost the saturation almost to like 12 o'clock. So let's this is gonna be very loud, so I gotta bring down the drum group right here. So I'm gonna bring it down about 17 or so, because it's a lot. So let me bring in the Sheps right here. So this is my special sauce type of deal here. And like I promise you this, like if you get yourself the Sheps Omni channel, it'll be your secret weapon for drums eternally. Like I don't think you'll need another plugin as far as like if you really want those drums to sound crisp and like weighty, as far as like maximum power, punch, and just explosiveness and just everything. It's just something about this thing. I got this on a deal. Like I think I got this for like $20, and I've never looked back. And I've always used this. I've always used this on buses. Like I'll use this purposely for the final part of the bus. So you've got the drum track. I've grouped them, and then I've routed the drum group to this other bus that's with the multipass drum saturation plugin, and then I've routed that to this bus, which we currently have now, and this is like more like the final touch, and I've never looked back. I've always used it, and I'm about to show you why. So if I were to bypass this, it's not a game, folks. So we have this saturation function here, and you got odd, even, heavy, and this is just tone, and it just gives a lot of weight, it's nastiness. You got level 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the highest, and then you have the thump factor. Look at this. Look at this. It says thump. You want some thump? You're gonna get it, and get 4 decibels of it. You have 2 dBs, 4 dB. Sky's the limit for you. So, and then you have this compressor section right here. You get 3 options: a VCA, FET, opto. Now the opto is gonna give you some maximum weightiness, beefiness, and if your drums sound weak, you may want to use opto. But if your drums already sound good quality and they sound weighty already, the FET will be your best bet. And if you just want that special tonal option, the little bit of like both worlds, VCA is your friend. So like, mess around. We're on odd right now. There's that. Try even. I've turned the thump off so we can kind of see what's happening. We'll go back to odd. Okay, we'll go to even. And then we'll try heavy. Okay. And then here we go. We'll go to this compressor section. And we're on the FET right now. And we'll try VCA. Back to FET. Instant. You notice how much heavier it sounds with the opto? And let's try with the thumb. And then we'll bypass the sheps. And so we're only hearing this part. Let's try the Brick for KE. Bring back the Shep's Omni channel. And it's heavy, man. It's heavy. And say you have like really good quality drum samples, or say you have really good, drum plugins, this will only boost the quality of what you already have. And if you have something that's not all the way quality, this will get you there to the level of thump and that low end weight that you've been looking for, especially for hip hop records and or whatever genre you're really working in, and you want those drums to hit. And this Shep's Omni channel, man, it's underrated. I feel like it's, not talked about enough. Everybody's talking about all these new plugins these days, and I feel like this is grossly slept on, and I will always preach its praises. So I'm always using this, and it's never not in my arsenal. And I promise you that you will be a lot happier with this. And there's so many different functions as well. You have a gate, a de-esser, of course there's an EQ section, so there's a lot of cool little vibes and that you can mess with this. It's a nice plugin, especially, I mean, if you wait for like, I think you can get it for $20 now. I think I have to look it up, but look it up and see if you can cop this for $20 or so. But I got it for like $20. It was a killer deal, and I got it on sale, and I've never looked back. I think I was looking for something for drums a while back, like years ago, and I've had this for quite a while, and I was looking for something for drums, and I saw Sheps doing a rundown on this plugin, his own plugin, and I was like, damn, that shit sounds sick. And I want to try it out, and I never look back. This thing is legit. And I think it's one of the only plugins by Waves I'll ever use. And because I like to use Slate a lot, I'll use Slate digital plugins and whatnot. But this Waves channel, this Waves plugin, whatever, I can't part with it at all. I needs it in my arsenal. So moving on, why don't we get the bass in here? So we'll activate the bass, and we need to get the bass sounding correct with the which is sub bass group. And if you're trying to figure out how you can level match with the drums, because some folks have a hard time leveling a sub bass and drums and kind of get them even. You know, if you've ever had a record that you play in your car and the bass is either too much and you can't hear it, or the drums just too much and the bass, there's no even cohesion or whatever. There's like no harmony. Is what I'm trying to say, you know. And I can help you harmonize it and get it, you know, in the ballpark of what you're looking for. And I'll show you. It's simple. It's simple, simple, simple. So why don't we've got the sub routed to the group, and then now we need to get the sub bass group to the bass bus. All right. So let's bring this down here, because it's gonna be something. We'll do the same thing. And so I got a little limiter here just in case, you know, shit go wrong. And then we've got this bass sidechain situation here. Now, this is a simple stock compressor. It's you can, if you have a Pro Tools or Reaper or Studio One, FL Studio, Ableton, whatever DAW, make sure that whatever plugin that you're using for a compressor, make sure that it has sidechain function. Turn it on, and then I use a simple stock one because it's easy, and I do it specifically because you know, I want to keep it simple, and this is as simple as gets. And we turn it on. Audio from, it's gonna go to drum bus, and then you have post mixer, post effects, and pre. And you want to set it to pre, okay? And then here we go. So you have the ratio. It's roughly around 3-to-1 or so, 3:15 to 1 or whatever. And then you have the attack, which is 0.04 milliseconds, and then you have the release at 129 milliseconds. Now, this release knob is going to be your best friend. I kind of just keep the attack where it's at, especially for, you know, basses and sub basses, because it's like more of like a sweet spot, a great starting point. But at the end of the day, you got to trust your ears and whatnot, and just adjust the taste however you like it. But just play with it a little bit until you find a sweet spot that you like. For me, 0.4 is, you know, 0.04 or whatever is my sweet spot. So here's 129. So let's get the sub bass started. Let's get it cracking. Let me loop the verse section over here first, so we can kind of. Do something real quick, and we want to do a group compression, something a little bit light. Let me just get this out the way. So let me do about smooth, and then let's go back down to here, and let's just do -3. I think the bass is a little high, so let me just bring this down about 12. And I'm going to show you the sidechain effect, all right? You know, here. It's simple, all right? If I boost the release all the way here, shoved and stuffed away, you know? It's trying to make sure that the volume stays down, you know? But if I bring it back, you just want to find the sweet spot. So let's see what happens when we add a little bit of this saturator to it. And another thing, just let me know in the comment section, or if you've got any questions about sidechaining specifically, I'll go a little bit further in depth into it if you really want to get into the weeds with sidechaining, because I know it can be a little bit confusing. But I want to show you something that I think is very important to every one of you that is interested in. Let me just say it like this. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a beat that you made and you were wondering why your bass is not showing up or translating to small speakers? Have you ever asked yourself that, like, say you had a track and you were about to perform on stage, whether it's like a small 200 seater or 200 maximum capacity, auditorium or whatever, and you're just like, where's my fucking bass, or you're in the car and you feel like your bass disappeared, or you get what I'm saying. There's a reason, and I'm gonna show you why. Okay, so first step is you want to get something like a saturator to really boost up the drive and the fuzz and whatnot. But the key ingredient is this is it right here. This is from THU Overloud. I think Steven Slate made this shit. And this right here, this Saint amp. This thing is tried and true. I would add this on any bass, and you can do like a wet and dry method. So you have the regular bass that's normal, like that has nothing on it. It's just the bass itself, and then you can duplicate that, and then you can have that one, the duplicate, to be more of a wet, like with all the effects on it. And you can try to do like a wet and dry situation where you kind of just mess with the faders a little bit to find the sweet spot. And this Saint amp, you can copy the, if you've got the THU Overloud, this right here, you can copy these settings, and I promise you that you will fix that bass issue. This right here, this Saint amp is gonna make sure your bass pokes through those small speakers. Whether it's a laptop is probably underrated and just underutilized tool to check your mixes, and you gotta check to see if they play on laptop speakers, because if they translate well on laptop speakers, they will translate to everything else. If you can hear your bass, as far as like whether it's like an 808 or just a bass line or like a synth, like say you're using a synth bass, you really want to add this Saint amp. It's just an amp, and you can find it amp category. You just kind of scroll right here, Saint amp. Okay, and this right here is magnificent. All right, so I'll solo this right here. Okay, and then if I just turn on the THU Overloud, okay, and then with the saturator as well, distort it. Distort the shit out of your bass. Okay? And then also, what you want to do is you just get a little bit of this. What you could do is you can roll off. You know what? Here. Just kind of, in fact, let me just delete that, put this up. What the fuck? There we go. Anywhere between 58 and 100 hertz is where you kind of want to just focus on if you really want to boost the low end of your bass. But rolling it off helps a lot to find the perfect cohesion, like rolling off the lows a little bit, you know. So right now, let's see if I roll it off a little. So there's that, and I promise you it will translate to small speakers, okay? And then so why don't we do this? Let's just make sure that we're about a -6 with these drums, all right, and the bass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this down. This is a automation line right here, and I usually set it around 9 decibels, okay? And that's usually my sweet spot when I want my entire mix to be -6. And we're going to try to get it to -6, okay? But we got to make sure everything's, you know, cohesive. So I've got everything routed. I've got everything routed to its prospective buses, okay? So everything's going straight to this bus right here, and this is my trim bus, and I use it for my own personal master fader, and I use it and then I route it to the actual master fader, and that's why I love Ableton so much, just because I can easily make a template, and this is my template, and if you're using Ableton, feel free to copy this template. It's simple, you know, and whatnot. So like, look, this is a trim. And I level match the whole mix. If you follow the arrow, this whole entire section is going to go straight to this, and then the trim will go straight to the master. And then let's get a virtual mix rack, because we got to get the piano up to par, correct? So I have a really cool preset that I use, that I made, what is it called? Sexy Piano. And so I'll use this API style especially for like electric pianos. It sounds great. And then I'll use this FGD2A, you know, LA2A cologne type of thing, opto compressor, and then a piano lifter. And let's see what it sounds like. I'll bring this down. Want to bring everything up. And then let's see. I want to hear that chorus one more time. And let me just mute the bell real quick. also we need to make sure that, how do we do we need to sidechain some of the other stuff as well? And so this is what I'll do is I'll route say like I don't think I got a sample in here, so I'm gonna just delete that real quick, and then do I have anything in sample? Okay, cool. So I can just delete that. Boom. So right here I have the electric piano. I got a lead, a bell, then a flute, and a choir. So what I'll do is I'll route these to the sub mix bus right here, and I'll do some side chaining there as well, just to kind of get everything within its, just you want it all to be kind of well packaged, So we'll do the same thing. Audio from pre, and then everything seems pretty good there. So let's start from the top. So we have it at 3-to-1 ratio. Attack is 0.04, but the release this time is 55 milliseconds. The knee is around 6 decibels. Output is around 2 dBs. So let's play with the release. 55 milliseconds is a great little starter for this type of thing. So let's just boost it. We'll see what the most drastic is. Let's see how it affects the chorus section. We'll go right here, because it's gonna go straight from the chorus into the outro. See how that affects it. And you see the gain reduction is just steady. EQ section added, and I've got it around 1.4 kilohertz. Gains by 1. And all it's really doing is you want your beat to be well packaged. All right, you really want it to not be out of sorts. So when you do play it, it has to translate to those small speakers, and you don't want to have a bad time, because there's been times where I'll play my mixes and I'm playing them on nice Bose systems, and I'll be in like a bar and I'll play it, got a homie that does like DJing, and I'll have him play the track on his setup, and it don't sound good. I'll be like, take that fucking shit off. I gotta go back to the lab, fix my shit. I'll be bumming it, dude. And so it's just important to make sure that drum and those basses, they're on point, and that the music's part of it, whatever instruments you're using is well packaged along with it, because you don't want things to be so extreme and it just drives you nuts, and you feel like a failure, and it sucks. But you know what? It's a learning process, and you will fall flat on your face. And don't be discouraged about it, because I learned a lot. And I find it it sucks because you want to be perfect all the time, and you feel like you need to be perfect all the fucking time, and it'll drive you mad. And but you have to allow yourself to fail, man. Just fucking fail masterfully and embrace the failure, because you will learn through every failure, and your mixes will get better, and you just have to believe that. You just have to trust that you will get better. So follow this channel, and I promise you I will help you get better. And yeah, just subscribe, hit the bell. If you like what I'm doing, like what I'm saying, like if you like what you're hearing, please hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? And subscribe, support your boy, you know? I'm trying to help y'all, try to help myself, trying to help everybody. I want y'all to be successful, damn it. You know? Let's make each other successful. Alright, so let's add some tape or some shit. Like, let's, saturation and whatnot. So we got this virtual tape machine. I mean, who doesn't love tape? I like tape. I like tape. So this is the machine type. I'll put this on my buses and shit. So I got this on my drum bus right now, and it's on the 16. And then the tape type is the 456. And I don't know. I just set it on there because I just like how it sounds. And then the FG9. I normally use that for mastering. So if I were to master a track, I'll put that on the put it on the FG9. And then the speed, which is the IPS, I'll put it on 30. And then if you want to master and stuff and put it on the mastering, like say if you're mastering a track, you put it on 15 IPS. So, but since we're not mastering at the moment, we'll put it on 30 IPS. And then let's just boost it kind of heavy, 3 decibels. And let's see what happens when we bypass that shit. Okay. And you see how louder that is? It's a bit warmer. And so now we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. So why don't we do this as well? Let's do something about that piano. So let's have a little fun. Let's do murder melodies. Let's see what happens when we bypass it. Let's start from the top. Okay, 80% sounds pretty cool. Alright, so why don't we add a little bit, let's see if we can add some width to this. So I'm going to open up Ozone Imager, and this is going to provide us a little bit of stereo, and we want to be very careful with stereo because that shit will make your shit out of phase, and that's no fun for anyone. And so less is more. So you just want to add a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it on the send bus because it's, a little easier that way. And you can mess with the wet and dry knob. And so you can add as much or as less as you want. So what I'm doing is I'll have the fader around about -3 on here, and then I'll do the stereo eyes at the maximum amount, and then I'll just do the width probably around there or so, or maybe let's try about 8.5. And this is either gonna work or it's not gonna work, because I do got some stuff panned, and usually it doesn't translate well to stuff that is panned. So we'll see what happens. So we're just gonna go with one by one. All right, so let's start from the top, and I think that's the electric piano. So this B fader right here, this B knob right here, we're just gonna like play with it. And that looks pretty good. And let's try this. That's pretty cool. And then we'll see what happens when we get to the chorus section. But that's what you kind of want to see. You kind of want to just over here, you know, like this is like the back of the club, you know. That's kind of cool. That's actually pretty cool. Let's go back to the chorus real quick. And let's bypass this real quick. That's kind of nice, actually. Okay, so we got that. So we have the ozone imager set up, and we have the tape machine set up, which is great. And I'm liking how this track is turning out. I'm really liking how it's turning out. It's a different vibe, different type of hip hop record. You know, it's something that is pretty cool. I really like it a lot. But let's see, what else can we do? Let's see, we did something to the piano, and this flute, should we do something with the flute? Should we add let's see, should we do like a Murder Melodies on here and see what happens if we fly too close to the sun? That's kind of cool. And you know what that did? That kind of just brought out the flute a little bit more. Ozone's cool. I like that a lot. That's kind of sick. Alright, so let's just make sure that we are not... Okay, so right now we're like around 2 point minus. Let's just get this in order. Let's see. Maybe I need to add a little some. I'll add a whatchamacallit. Let me just add a little bit of compression on that bell. Should add a little something for this flute as well. Try the same thing. Let's Okay, that's good. I'm liking that. I'm like where that's headed. So now it's it's okay if it kind of just goes a little over, but you generally want like it to be in the ballpark of -6. If you can get it perfect, dead on, great. If it just goes a tad little over, it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna. It's not gonna be like you're not gonna notice much of a difference, really. And I've had beats where it kind of just goes a little over, and I master them. It turned out just fine, you know. And also, it's not gonna you're not gonna really notice it when you're playing on small speakers or car stereos and whatnot. It's really not gonna it's really not gonna like make much of a difference. But you ballpark it, you want it around -6. You can have it at -3. It's a debate really amongst engineers and shit. Like you should have it at -6, you should have it at -3 on your master bus or whatever. But I just want to keep it relatively around -6. If it goes over, it's fine. But just do the best you can. Sometimes you can be really in the weeds and you can really just there's a thing called doing too much, and you could find yourself losing your mind doing too much, and you'll go off on a 2-3 hour tangent trying to fucking get a mix right. And just save yourself, allow yourself to breathe, and just ballpark it around -6, and it's okay. you know just as long as your mix is mostly around -6, it's fine. You can do the best you can. And that's it, really. So let's see. We've got tape. We do a little something with the beat, as far as bus compression, group compression. We've done side chaining, and yeah. And then this is something I like to add on the master bus. Some people don't add anything on their master bus. I like to add a little something something. So this is what I'll do. I'll use this virtual mix bus right here, and it's just for flavor and tonal options, and I'll really push the drive on here. And if I bypass this shit, it made it a little louder, and it's just I just really want the console, and there's something about it that just brings the warmth out of a mix. And so I'll really push the drive, and don't be afraid to push the drive on some shit, and just get a lot out of the plugin, because you really want that console sound. It just adds extra warmth. It makes it louder, and yeah, it just sounds great sonically to me. And but yeah, I think this is great. I think we covered a lot. I also wanted to make an announcement. If you haven't tuned in last episode, I gotta make an announcement again for this episode. On May 6th, I am dropping my single. It's called "Smoke in the Mirror." It's a hip hop record. I'm MCing on it. It's a solo record, just me spitting some serious hip hop fucking fire. And yeah, so I'm hoping you'll tune into that. It's gonna be on my Bandcamp, and I'll have the links and all that in the description and whatnot. And so bookmark it, man. May 6th is going to be the singles drop. I promise you, the song, it's like it's hip hop as fuck. If you're really interested, and if you really like hip hop, if you really like that, like golden era type of stuff from like 1997, 98. This is more like a 1995, 97 type of joint. And if you're really interested in that type of stuff, you like hip hop shit, boom bap shit, the song be for you. If not, no worries, no sweat. It's all good. To each their own. But if you want to support me, support this channel, go ahead and grab the single when it drops. And I'm also going to be doing an episode where I show you how I made the beat and just walk you through like how the process went down, and then I'll show you how I mix the vocals. And it's going to be a really cool session, and we'll just it'll be like a premiere. So like what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna premiere it on May 6th, and we'll all sit in the session, and we'll listen to the record and as it drops or whatever, and then we'll listen to the joint, and then we'll play it a few times, and then I'll go into a session where how I mixed it, how I put it down, and what my thought process was. And I'll show you how I mix the vocals, because I know a lot of guys want to know, how to get those hip hop vocals sounding crispy and clean and just right up in the mix and not buried. You want it kind of just up in front, and I'll show you how I did it. And I got really really cool vocal tricks that'll just be really really valuable to your toolbox. And yeah, so stay tuned. Please subscribe, hit the bell, make sure that you do that so you don't miss any content or miss out on any cool vibes that's going on over here on the channel. If you subscribed already, welcome back, and if you just subscribed, welcome to the family. So anyway, I'm your host. I go by the Rinnegan, aka the Rinnegan. Rinnegan is my producer handle. Rinnegan is my stage name. And so that's just the name I go by, for my artist, my artwork and stuff like that, as far as MCing and everything. Also, I did put out a passion project of mine called The Echoes of the Void. If you like metal records, if you're interested in like heavy metal, whatnot, I put out a heavy metal record. And that's another thing about being a hip hop producer. Listen, if you're ever struggling, or you have producer's block, writer's block, or a mental block, my advice to you is try your hand at something that's outside your field. So if you've only done modern hip hop, or if you've only done R&B, if you've only done this, that, and the other, and you can't seem to put a beat together, well then maybe you should try to stretch those creative muscles and try to dive into a different genre. And so for me, I've always been a metalhead and metal fan. I've always wanted to make metal music, and so I decided to put together a metal album. And it was fun producing the record. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it, and it was a passion project, all right? And it sounds dope as fuck. The link is already in the description if you want to check that out and support the channel that way as well. It's called The Echoes of the Void, and it's sick as fuck. And if I were to like paint like what it's about, it's really an anime record, like an anime album. Like if you were just picturing in your mind like anime, and you like your favorite battle anime, favorite shonen, like something on Solo Leveling. Like I watched like Solo Leveling anime. I don't know if y'all like if you ever heard of Solo Leveling, but that anime was sick as fuck. And that anime inspired me to make this metal project. All right, so there you go. But yeah, man. So that's it for this session. I put out new episodes every Wednesday and every Saturday, and I try my absolute best to put out other content as far as like bonus content, and if my schedule allows and whatnot. But I make sure that I always have episodes ready for Wednesday and Saturday, which are most likely live streams. I do mostly live streams where I just cook up a beat from scratch and just put it down for y'all. And each beat is different vibe, different tone, and it'll have a different theme. It's just random. It's just random. And man, that shit kind of crazy though. Like I think this is the 41st episode, and that means that's 41 beats cooked up, give or take. And since I started this channel, and I just started this channel like I think in November or whatever, and so like that's 40 41 tracks, like 41 beats, and it's kind of cool because some folks have like beat block, man, and I think it's kind of crazy that I'll be sitting here and I gotta like cook up a beat like from nothing, and just gotta do it right here in the session, live, unscripted, and yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. I really like it, and it's kind of crazy. Some of my studio, some of my homies that they kind of asked me like, bro, like you just raw dogging that shit, and I was like, yes, I'm raw dogging these beats, cooking them up from scratch, like Betty Crocker, motherfucker. Anyway, so yeah, I know I'm rambling. I apologize, but let's listen to this track one more time, all the way through, see what we did, and yeah, and then we'll just be up out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to First We Beats. I appreciate y'all, man. For real, for tuning in, for watching, and vibing out with me, rocking out with me. It means a lot. Alright, yo. That's sick as fuck. And if you're wondering what I was doing with the drums, I do this thing with this murder melodies. I created a preset a while back called I call it the flash step. And it's sometimes when your drums don't sound like for instance, like sometimes I just add it on there for seasoning, sometimes I don't use it. And it just depends. Like for instance, say if your drums is lacking a little life, like especially if you're using a loop or whatever, and you want a little bit of life to it, it's great to add, murder melodies to it. And I have this preset called Flash Step, and really is I got 25% on the clarity, and then I'll do this rhythmic delay shit, and I got it around 32%, and that's generally like a sweet spot of where I have it, and I kind of just don't move it. I kind of just set it at 32%, and then the amount is around 70%, and you can kind of adjust the taste and how you want and the flavor, and then of course you can adjust the spread, and then I've got the heat, the saturation on there around about 42%. And if you've got the murder melodies, feel free to you know pause it and kind of just write down the parameters that I have here, and try it out yourself. It's called the flash step, and it's really sick. um Here, I'll solo the drums real quick so you kind of see what I'm talking about. And it's not gonna work for all drum loops, but there's quite a few of them that'll work. It's kind of like you turn it on, see if it works. If it doesn't work, it don't work. But if it works, it sounds sick as fuck. All right, so let's just turn it on, and I've soloed it. And I'll bypass it real quick. And it's really interesting. It's really cool. I feel it in my soul sometimes. Like I really liked it. I was really impressed when I cooked it up. I was like, dang, this shit time this shit worked out, you know? And it adds a little bit of love and a little bit of vibe and whatnot. And it doesn't work all the time. I would say about 80-20. 80% works, 20% it don't work. And those are pretty good odds. And you just roll the dice, try it out, and see if it works. Murder Melodies, man. I promise you, the shit is business. I love this thing. I'll use this for pretty much anything. And it's like, I don't know. It's so nice. I like it. For some reason, I wasn't expecting to like it when I first like downloaded it and whatnot, and I got it because it came with the Slate Digital shit, and I wasn't like, I'm not really into like novelty shit stuff that like celebrities be cooking up and whatnot, but this one right here, they did this shit right. They did this on point. This Murder Melodies is no joke, and it really like it's versatile, and it's a unique Swiss Army knife type of situation going on. And they really thought this through, and I'm pretty impressed with it. And I use it all the time. I'm never not gonna use it. And if you feel like your beats are feeling lifeless, then add a little bit of murder melodies to your shit. It'll fix that up real quick. But anyway, thank you for tuning in to First Week Beats. I appreciate y'all so much for sticking around all the way to the end, and it means the world to me, and I'm just grateful to y'all to just like hang out with and just cook up beats with. So yeah, I want to see y'all next time, man. Please roll through next time. I'm here. What's today? Today's what, Saturday or some shit, or probably not. It's Sunday now. It's fucking midnight where I'm at. But on Wednesday, I'm usually I'm up in Europe right now. I'm like out here in Sweden and whatnot. I moved from LA to Sweden and whatnot. There's a whole story behind that, but I'll tell y'all another time. But So I'm up here in Europe pretty much, and I'm just out here now and whatnot. And I come from LA and whatnot. I lived in LA my whole life, and it's kind of crazy how I'm out here right now. But I'll put up the time zone dates or the times for the time zone. So like for like East Coast, West Coast, and Central European time. So everything kind of lines up. And so if you're on the East Coast, whether you're on the Pacific, on the West Coast, all the times will be on point. So wherever you are, you can tune in as I'm live and whatnot. So on Saturdays, I'll be like what? Like I'll probably start around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. my time, just so I can make sure that you guys are what, you know, let me see, what time is it over there? It's about what, 3 o'clock in LA, and it's about 6 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock in New York, and it's about 12:30 something in Sweden and whatnot. So yeah, so like around those times, I'll have the time zones put up so it'll be consistent with that, and you can just, if you're able to make it, great. If you're not able to make it, it's not a problem. Please support and like check out the video after the fact, and and if you're able to come through, it means a lot, man. I like hanging out with y'all and you guys tuning in and whatnot, and it's okay if you don't say nothing in the live chat. You just like to vibe out. It's cool, ain't no thing. All right, y'all. I gotta get up out of here. I appreciate y'all once again, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Peace.